Wait, don't close the video, hear me out here. Alright, are we good? Did you move your mouse from the X button? If not, then please move it. Thank you. Goodbye YouTube, how's it going everybody? Now I know you guys might be wondering, why do I have the old Showdown layout? Well, today's Showdown is just extremely laggy. Although for some reason it's working for some of my friends, but I fall under the category of it just being really laggy. I don't know why. So I'm not able to find new battles to upload for you guys, but I actually found this old battle that I had saved up in my battle folder, and I believe this is back from like a month ago, and I rewatched it, saw that I didn't upload it yet, and it actually turned out to be a pretty good OU battle. I believe the team that I'm using is one that I based around mixed wall hip Powdon, and my opponent has a very fun looking team. I know you guys might find it a bit odd that he has Victini on a Hail team, but if I'm not mistaken, around this time or a little before, there was actually a popular RMT of the Hell team with Victini. So I didn't find it odd that he had Victini on the team. And Victini is actually the biggest threat on his team, just because if it's banded, not even Landorus after Intimidate or Rotom resisting VQ8 is going to appreciate taking a choice banded VQ8. So yeah, Victini, biggest threat I got to watch out for. So he's going to be leading off with the Bomb Snow. I'm going to be leading off with Scizor. The reason why I led off with Scizor is because I thought he would lead off with Abomasnow, predicting me to lead off with Hippowdon, which is exactly what happens. I'm going to go straight for the U-turn, knowing that he's going to be fearing the Bullet Punch. I end up U-turning out into my Hippowdon. As this turn, I'm going to double switch into my Latios, expecting him just to go for the Stealth Rocks, but he actually ends up double switching into the Rotom, either predicting me to go for an Earthquake or a Fire Fang, although Fire Fang is not common on Hippowdon at all, and I don't even know if it can learn Fire Fang. But yeah, I know that Rotom shouldn't be able to do anything to me outside of Will-O-Wisp, so I'm going to go straight for the Draco Meteor. I failed to knock him out. Then it turns out that he has Hidden Power Ice. So yeah, I was not expecting that whatsoever. On the bright side though, I managed to get rid of Rotom, but my Latios is severely worn down. So he's going to bring in the Victini. Even if he's not Scarfed, I know I will have use for Latios later in the battle. So in the end, switching into Landorus is my safest play to do. As he goes for the U-turn, he's going to end up U-turning out into the Bomb Snow. Obviously, I don't want to take a Ice Shard or a Blizzard, but I know that the switch out to Ferrothorn is so obvious that I'm going to predict him to switch into Terrakion, predicting me to bring in Ferrothorn, and I'm actually going to bring in Hippowdon, which is exactly what happens. Then this turn, predicting him to predict me to switch out, I'm actually going to go for the Earthquake, predicting him to leave in Terrakion. But no, he does make the safe play into Abomasnow. Then this turn, he makes a very good prediction, knowing that I'm not going to want to take an Ice Shard, Leech Seed, Woodhammer, Blizzard, or whatever. He's actually going to go for the unprotected Focus Punch, predicting me to switch out, getting off a huge hit on my Scizor. Luckily though, I'm able to live. Then predicting him to switch out, I'm just going to go for the safe Roost, as he ends up bringing in the Fortress. Fortress can't do anything to me, but I don't want a Sword Dance on this, just because even at +2, Bullet Punch won't do much to him, and he still has Victini, which does resist the Bullet Punch. So in the end, going for the U-turn is definitely my safest play, because I can bring in my Latios and go for a Roost, as he's either going to be forced to Volt Switch or Hard Switch out. But it turns out that he actually has Gyro Ball, which I was not expecting. So after the Roost, I know that I have to go straight for the Hidden Power Fire, because I know that he's not going to be expecting it, and that he is just going to keep staying in and going for the Gyro Ball. So this way, it will be a double down, but I'm able to get rid of the Fortress, which means if he had spikes on that as well, he's not going to be able to get those up. Unfortunately though, I lose my Latios, which definitely could have come in handy to deal with that Terrakion if it's not Scarf and the Starmie. So on the double down, I bring in Rotom, he brings in Victini. I know I will be able to take any hit that he wants to go for, so predicting him to go for the U-turn, I end up going for the Volt Switch. In hindsight, maybe I should have gone for the Will-O-Wisp, but in the end it doesn't really end up mattering. As I Volt Switch into my Scizor, I know that the Bullet Punch is a little bit too obvious, so what I'm going to do is predict him to switch out, and I'm actually going to go for the U-turn. But he makes a crazy play, brings in Terrakion, knowing that I wouldn't Bullet Punch, takes the U-turn. As I U-turn now into my Hippowdon, I know I will be able to take any hit Terrakion wants to go for, even if he does go for the Choice Banded Close Combat. So predicting him to bring in a Bomb Snow, I end up going for the Ice Fang, because I believe Ice Fang being neutral is stronger than resisted Earthquake, although after stab, I think Earthquake is 5 base points stronger. Either way, Earthquake should have definitely been the move I should have gone for, but because I am specially defensive, I know I will be able to take a Hydro Pump, and I'm able to get off a huge hit on the Starmie. So this turn, I'm predicting him just to go for another Hydro Pump, and I'm going to make the safe switch into my Ferrothorn, as he actually goes for the Thunderbolt, possibly predicting me to bring in Rotom, obviously knowing that I wouldn't want to leave in my Hippowdon and then thinking I would go for a Volt Switch, but in the end Ferrothorn was definitely my safest move to go for. So this turn I'm just going to go for the Power Whip, because for some reason this Ferrothorn only had 3 moves on it. It was supposed to have Thunder Wave as its 4th move, which is what I would have gone for because the switch into Victini was a little too obvious, and yeah, that's just going to really screw me because now this Victini is not paralyzed. So thinking that Landorus can take a V-Crit at -1, I'm going to switch it in, but yeah, I don't take that good at all. So now I'm convinced about the fact that he is indeed banded. So knowing that I will be able to outspeed him, what I'm going to do is predict him to bring in a Abomasnow, thinking I want to go for the Earthquake, and I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, allowing me to knock out the Abomasnow. So as soon as I bring in my Hippowdon, I will officially win the Weather War. As he brings in the Starmie, I really have no use for my Landorus at this point, and I thought that the switch into Ferrothorn was too obvious. So on the off chance that he did switch out into Terrakion, I just went for the Earthquake. But he ends up making the safe play by going straight for the Hydro Pump. As I bring in my Scizor, unfortunately he misses Hydro Pump, and this miss definitely mattered because now I'm going to be able to keep my Scizor around for the remainder of this battle, but it's not my fault. My Scizor is well trained and skillfully dodges moves. So this turn is going to predict me to U-turn again and bring in Terrakion. As I U-turn now into my Hippowdon, at the amount of HP that I'm at, I don't think I will be able to live a close combat, but either way, I'm just going to make the safe play by going for the Slack Off, as he makes another good prediction, predicts that, and goes for the Swords Dance. Now, because I am mixed defensive, I am actually not too sure if I can live this close combat, but thankfully Hippowdon is just too damn bulky. I'm able to live it and in return knock out Terrakion with the Earthquake, which means he's down to his Starmie and to his Victini. Unfortunately though, at this point Hippowdon is basically useless to me, so he's just going to bring in Victini and knock me out with the V-Create, allowing me to now get a free switch into my Rotom, which should be able to outspeed Victini at -1, and I can just go straight for the Volt Switch. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring in Rotom, knowing that I will be able to live the hit. It turns out that he's actually still faster than me, which I was not expecting, which is why I actually went for the Volt Switch, predicting him to switch out, but no, stays in, goes for the V-Crate. I'm able to live, but Volt Switch does not knock him out, which means this Victini is still a problem. As I Volt Switch into my Scizor, due to the fact that he's at -2 defense, I know a Bullet Punch will be able to knock him out. So I'm just going to go for that, which is honestly my safest play to do, as he brings in the Starmie. Even after leftovers, thanks to the Sandstorm, he will not be able to live the next Bullet Punch. So I'm going to be able to knock out Starmie, and as he brings in the Victini at the amount of HP that Victini is at, even if I don't knock him out with the Bullet Punch, I should bring him down to a point where Sandstorm will finish him off, and that's going to be the victory in my favor. So yeah, as you can see, Hydro Pump was definitely a key factor in this battle, just because it did miss, but in the end, it does have a chance to miss, although I did hit Stone Edge. It's not my fault. His Starmie is not well trained, and my Scizor is just a beast. Actually, I know some people are going to get upset about that. But hey, that's Pokemon for you. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to some more content, and yeah, hopefully Showdown will stop being laggy. So with that, I am out of here. Later, everybody.